Alright, it's Christopher Fox once again, and this is a request assigned for Lainey, and the name of this video is The Murderous Teens That Worshipped Slenderman. Okay, let's check it out, yay.
Most of you are familiar with the fictional boogeyman, Slenderman. The tall, thin, and faceless creature that stalks and snatches people in the dark, but we all know that he's not real, right?
The movie sucked,
though. You'll never believe the horrifying things two girls did when they thought that Slenderman was real.
I think you're reacting to a video of this. Don't they go like take this girl in the woods and just stab her, but she survived or something? Because of Slenderman.
Started in 4th grade. Peyton Lutner felt sorry for the quiet, lonely girl who was always sitting by herself in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I remember that picture.
At least one friend, Peyton thought,
people are
as
fucked
she
up.
approached Morgan Giza. That's just how Peyton was, always thinking about other people. She was sweet, kind, and caring, and already had lots of friends. But when she noticed that Morgan was having a difficult time making friends, she took it upon herself to be Morgan's friend. The two girls immediately hit it off, and they soon became the best of friends. They hung out together, had sleepovers, and did all the normal things that girls their age did. Morgan turned out to be quite a fun person to be around. She was always laughing and making jokes, and even gave Peyton a sweet nickname, Bella. For the next 2 years, the two girls were inseparable and did basically everything together. But when they were in 6th grade, a new girl, Anissa Wire, entered the picture. Anissa lived in the same apartment complex as Morgan, and the two became friends. And that's when things started taking a dark turn. Anissa and Morgan soon found out they had a lot more in common, and so they started pushing Peyton to the side. They also had discovered the video game Slenderman and had become obsessed with it. They would talk of nothing else but the fictional monster who they believed was actually real. Peyton was not so much into the game and found the character weird and scary, but since she didn't want to disappoint her friends, she just played along. The two girls' obsession for Slenderman went on for a while, and they started becoming paranoid, saying that Slenderman was coming for them. This made Peyton really uncomfortable, and at some point, she asked her mom if Slenderman was real, and she was super relieved when she was told he was not. In May 2014, Morgan's 12th birthday had rolled around, and the girls were super excited about the slumber party at Morgan's house. They started off with skating at a local skating rink, and then had some pizza and frozen yogurt.
That's some gross looking pizza right there. What the fuck?
Seemed out of place.
Laid up in Morgan's bedroom, ran up and down the stairs, giggling and laughing, and I mean, it was just a normal night.
But there was nothing normal about what Morgan and Anissa were planning. The next morning, the girls woke up very early and decided to go to the park. But when they got there, Anissa suggested that they take a walk to the woods and play hide and seek.
I wanted to go on a walk, and I didn't think much of it. It's just a walk. It's in Waukesha. Like, what bad stuff happens in Waukesha, Wisconsin?
So Peyton innocently followed her two friends to the woods. And when Anissa asked her to lie on the ground,
oh god, that's a spider, I hate it.
Everything changed.
Anissa told me to lie on the ground and, like, cover myself in, like, sticks and leaves and stuff, but it was really just a trick.
As soon as she got down, Morgan pounced at Peyton and started attacking her with a kitchen blade. At first, Peyton was in shock. She didn't know how to react. I mean, these were her friends. Why would they hurt her? The piercing pain from the blade and the
because they're psychopaths, that's why.
She screamed in agony, begging Morgan to stop, but Morgan
people were
just
sick.
On. When she finally stopped, Peyton tried to get up, but Anissa pushed her down, telling her to lay still because the blood would come out slower. The two girls then left her there, saying they were going to get help, but they never did. Peyton was bleeding and badly wounded, but she knew she had to survive, and the only way to do that was to get out in the open where someone could find her.
I got up and then just walked until I hit a patch of grass where I could lay down.
Fortunately, a cyclist happened to be riding by and saw Peyton lying on the grass with blood all over her clothes. He called 911 and offered her some water.
Is there any bleeding going on? Her clothing has got blood on it.
When the police and the paramedics arrived, they were shocked at the critical state that Peyton was in. But she could still talk, and she told them that her friends had done that to her. Peyton was then rushed to the hospital where her distraught mother found her.
I'm glad she survived.
To surgery.
I said,
fucking commercials.
I said, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. But I could see that she was covered. Her arms and her legs and her abdomen were covered in stab wounds.
Peyton had been stabbed 19 times, and 2 of those strikes had hit major organs, including her liver, and 1 had almost gone through her heart and had missed a major artery by a whisker.
Wow.
The doctors said that if a blade had gone just a little further, Peyton would not have lived.
Damn.
Peyton was fighting for her
God
life. Her
damn,
two
nigga.
assailants were off on a crazy mission to find the house where Slenderman supposedly lived. By the time the police caught up with them, they had walked 5 hours and were almost out of the city. They still had on the bloody clothes they wore that morning, and the police found the knife that they used in their bag. But the weirdest thing was that they seemed unbothered by the fact that they had almost taken someone's life. In fact, when they were taken in for questioning, Morgan was even dancing in the interrogation room, acting like this was a normal day in the playground. They would later confess they had been planning
She don't
the
give a
attack
shit
for
about
months,
it.
and they did
But
it
she
for
did.
Slenderman. They told detectives that they had planned to harm Peyton in her sleep during the slumber party, but that they changed their minds. The second plan involved taking Peyton to the park and ambushing her in the bathroom because they wanted a place where her blood would drain. This also did not work out, and so they finally settled for the woods. At one point during the interrogation, Morgan asked about Peyton, referring to her as Bella, asking if she was dead, and her reaction when she heard that Peyton was in the hospital was just cold. Like, she didn't care whether Peyton lived or died.
Is she dead?
And she thought she was her best friend. That's fucked up, man.
I was just wondering.
Anissa told investigators that though she felt guilty about what they did to Peyton, she believed it was necessary, saying that they wanted to please